Russia's ruble has slumped, but Bitcoin is up, and we're keeping watch on how the crypto market is handling the crisis in Ukraine. Welcome to the Daily Forkast, March 1st, 2022. I'm Angie Lau, Editor-in-Chief of Forkast, covering all things blockchain. Well, the conflict in Ukraine continues with tighter financial sanctions slapped on Russia. And that's kickstarted a recovery in global crypto markets, with the total market cap gaining a massive $200 billion in just a 12-hour run. We're going to take a look at that, plus a whole lot more coming up. Let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
First up, sanctions on Russia have prompted a resurgence in the crypto market. Amid a sea of green in the crypto top 10, Bitcoin was up over 15% early Tuesday morning Asia time. Forkast's Lachlan Keller has more on what's driving the market action.
While Bitcoin has since fallen back slightly to trade at $43,466, it had left over $2,000, crossing the $44,000 mark in a 10-minute window from 6:30 a.m. Hong Kong time on Tuesday. That move coincided with historically neutral Switzerland's announcement that it would impose sanctions in coordination with the European Union. And it's not the only traditionally neutral country to consider such a move. In Asia, Singapore's Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also on the case.
We will also block certain Russian banks and financial transactions connected to Russia. The specific measures are being worked out and will be announced shortly.
One expert told Forecast he's now keeping watch to see if calls to restrict Russians from accessing crypto exchanges are heeded.
You could also see the possibility that more of these big exchanges do clamp down on outflows, which would then undermine the move overnight.
Sycamore says in the meantime, Russians are determined to get their cash out, while the uncertainty caused by Russia's invasion has also prompted a dovish reassessment of the Federal Reserve's hiking cycle, which is proving supportive for digital assets. Terra was the biggest gainer in the crypto top 10, overtaking Cardano and Solana to take 7th position based on market cap. It was up 22% Tuesday morning in Asia. For Forecast, I'm Lachlan Keller.
With the sanctions piling on, local financial stability in Russia has been shaken. Monday saw the ruble plunge by about 30% against the US dollar, while trading volume of the Bitcoin-Ruble pair has surged. Forecast's Timmy Shen takes a look at how Russians are trying to protect their cash.
The ruble's value slumped amid the waves of sanctions, prompting Russia's central bank to double interest rates and close the stock exchange on Monday in an attempt to stabilize its financial markets. President Putin has since ordered a ban on residents transferring money outside of the country effective from Tuesday. And concerns over such moves have seen trading volume spike. According to data from Kaiko, trading volume for the Bitcoin-Ruble pair surged to over 3 billion rubles in the past few days, while trading volume for the USDT-RUB pair spiked to a 10-month high. One expert told Forecast that with the economy suffering, investors will be looking for any options open to them.
The general tenet is just get out of it. So anything you can get in, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's property, whether it's any form of real asset, buy a cellar of wine or something, you need to preserve the value of your money. And that's going to be a very difficult thing.
Harris says that with a severe and still developing sanction situation, the market will likely take a few days to assess where the ruble is headed and reprice accordingly. For Forecast, I'm Timmy Shan.
Meanwhile, crypto is playing another crucial role on the ground in Ukraine. Trippy Labs has created Ukraine DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization that is working to support Ukrainian civilians who have joined military efforts. Trippy Labs told Forecast that all funds, 100% of it, will go to the initiative Come Back Alive and used to distribute food and medical supplies to local efforts to help residents under siege. Why a DAO? The team said simply this: we don't have time for traditional means of fundraising, and crypto has already proven to be the most efficient tool to offer immediate help. As the humanitarian crisis unfolds in Eastern Europe, sanctions from the West has raised questions about Russia's economic defenses unraveling. How real is that, and what impact could it have on crypto systems in a state where over a tenth of the people own crypto assets? We've got Kelvin Lam here, CEO of Lithium Finance, joining us right now with the DeFi download to talk all of this and more. Good to see you again, Kelvin.
Good to see you too, Angie.
Yeah, really important story, so we really appreciate you being here. We've got NATO and the West both imposing sanctions on the Russian state and billionaires backing Vladimir Putin, so we know this. But will these penalties really be able to work on assets held in crypto and those held or traded on decentralized exchanges?
First type of these sanctions prohibits primarily banks and financial institutions from facilitating transactions as well as dealing in capital markets in relation to major Russian banks and corporates. While they're very, very powerful, I think that crypto themselves are not directly concerned. The second type of sanctions, however, are broader, more general sanctions that practically requires anyone in control of these sanctioned persons' assets to block their access. Now, authorities have indicated in the past that these sanctions apply to crypto just like any other assets. Now, as far as decentralized protocols are concerned, I think enforcement will likely be harder as these are argued to be without any central authority. It is, however, unclear if people or organizations involved in these decentralized protocols would be considered broadly, again, as being in control. Now, and then with that, they would be held to the same obligations to uphold these sanctions. Obviously, again, if these wallet addresses remain anonymous, enforcement would likely be very, very difficult. We know, however, that authorities have already maintained and published a list of all the wallet addresses associated with sanctioned persons. Ukraine has interestingly also just launched a program offering bounty to identify these addresses. So I think it would be very interesting to see how sanctions would play out in the situation.
It's absolutely fascinating to watch how this technology, how crypto is really being assessed here in this conflict. Now, the West has banded together to ban select key Russian banks from the SWIFT network. This would significantly impact the Russian economy. How could this ban impact the decentralized financial systems in operation right now? Would this even be a bigger push for DeFi?
It's been reported that Russians are restoring foreign currencies just over these past few days in fear of collapse of the local currency. I'd speculate that Russians on a personal level would be using more and more crypto to move and hold assets internationally. However, I think industry experts generally believe it's unlikely for the nation and institutions to turn to digital assets for general trade and finance, as it just hasn't yet been a commercially practical solution just yet. Having said that, however, I think it's been reported also that Washington is considering to expand sanctions to directly restrict Russia's access to digital assets. Now, the U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control, for example, published already a guidance to encourage exchanges, miners, wallet providers, and practically everyone in the crypto space to implement some form of sanction compliance program. And I believe we might be seeing more and more proactive encouragements from the authorities in this situation.
And we're also watching crypto donations flowing into Ukraine right now. A Ukraine DAO has also been set up. What role do you see DeFi playing in gathering and deploying funds in a war-impacted zone?
We're definitely seeing more and more charitable organizations embrace and accept crypto donation. In an armed conflict situation like this, you will have banks, infrastructure and international intermediaries becoming unreliable. And even with that, crypto always remains to be a viable channel. For example, we've seen a Ukrainian NGO been blocked by one of its payment platforms to accept donation as the conflict escalates. But that NGO has been able to continue receiving donations, through Bitcoins and other crypto assets, amounting to over $7 million as we speak. that would probably be impossible with certain other donation channels. Now, I believe we will be seeing more and more of these crypto donations in similar situations. They're just really easy and inexpensive to set up. They are internationally accessible. It's very, very easy for cross-border donations. And they, most important of all, are highly reliable even in an unstable situation like that.
It's incredible to watch this all play out in real time, and we truly appreciate your expertise here and the role that crypto is playing in this conflict as we continue to cover the conflict in Ukraine. Kelvin, thank you so much for the DeFi download this week. And that's the Daily Forecast from our vantage point right here in Asia. Hit like, hit subscribe. Our team continues to bring you the most important stories in crypto. For more, visit forecast.news. I'm Editor-in-Chief Angie Lau. Until the next time.